Hi fairies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Fifi. It's so nice to have you here. I hope you stay a while. Today we are going to be talking about my end of the year TBR. These are the 5 books that I really want to get to this December. We're already at the end of the year. I didn't want to go too hard. I didn't want to do too much, like put 10 books on this list and then not get to most of them and feel bad about it. So we just have 5 books that we're going to try really hard to get to this December. Let's get right into it. The first book on this list is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a literary historical fiction of sorts. I don't know too much about this. I honestly don't know too much about any of these books because I do like going into books a little bit blind. Apparently, though, this is following Sapphic astronauts that work in NASA, and I've heard amazing things about this book. Everybody that has read it, that I have seen read it, just raves so much about it. I'm really excited to get into it. Honestly, I have really high hopes for this book. I've seen a lot of people cry at the end, so I'm a little bit scared, but also excited because I do like books that make me cry. What can I say? I've only read one other book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which was Daisy Jones and the Six. I love that book so much. I give it 5 stars, and I did cry at the end. So I do have insanely high hopes for this book, and I really hope it meets my expectations. The second book we have is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This is the prequel book to the Divine Rivals duology. I love that duology so much. It's one of my favorites. I did give the first book 5 stars and the second book 4 stars because I didn't think it was as good as the first one. And I do plan to reread that duology sometime in the future, so I just know how I will feel about it then. But I think about those books every other month. Okay, I loved the plot and pacing of that book, and I love Rebecca Ross's writing. I think she's one of my favorite writers because her writing just feels so romantic and poetic and lyrical, and it just takes you away. And I have heard that that is evident in this book, Wild Reverence, and people talk so highly again about this book and how it's so good, and the romance in it is so beautiful as well. I don't know much about it again, but I do know there's something about them appearing in each other's dreams or something like that, and more talks about the gods in this world. And I'm really excited because I feel like we're going to get more backstory on the world of this book. I feel like we didn't really get that much in the Divine Rivals duology. So yeah, the third book on my list is one that I am kind of skeptical about. I don't know how I will feel about it because I have heard mixed things about it. Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. R.F. Kuang is one author that I have always wanted to get into her work, but I just haven't had the opportunity to, and also I've been quite scared because she has a very vast discography and also very mixed reactions from people that have read most of her books. So I don't know how I will feel about this one, especially because it's a literary fiction basically about 2 authors who are friends. One of the author dies and the other one takes her manuscript and publishes it in her own name. Apparently there's going to be commentary on the publishing industry and what it means to be a book author as a person of color. I am very interested because I do enjoy literary books. I do enjoy books with huge commentary about the world and human beings and very vast things. I am quite scared because a lot of people don't necessarily love this book, but I have heard that this is the perfect place to start with when it comes to her discography. So yeah, wish me luck. I don't know if I'll actually get to it before the end of this year, but I really hope that I do because I want to read even more of her books eventually. Next, we have Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wong. I always get M.L. Wong and R.F. Kong mixed up, but I have heard such great things about this author. I did start a book by this author earlier this year. That was Theonite from the Theonite series. I DNF'd that book. Like, I stopped reading it because I found it so boring. No shade. I do plan to get back into it because I think since then my taste has changed, but I am kind of scared now to read more of her books because that one just didn't hold much promise for me. But I do think this one, because it's so short and because it apparently has so much commentary on so many different things of life and things like racism and bigotry and fascism, I feel like it's going to be a very good book to start with this author. I do also want to read a lot of her other books like The Sword of Kaigen and some other ones, even the Theonite series. I want to go back to it. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this one, honestly, because like I said, I've only heard amazing things and I've heard that the commentary on this book is so good. And like I said, I love books with commentary. So yeah, on this little list, we have our final book, which is Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. This is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. Six of Crows was a book that I enjoyed. I think I gave it 4 stars or 4.25. It wasn't necessarily my favorite thing ever because it didn't give me exactly what I thought it would give me. and it was a little bit underwhelming in that sense. But I have heard that the second book is way better than the first one. It's everyone's favorite book. I've heard amazing things about this duology in general. And obviously, I'm a huge Billy Bardugo fan. I read her Shadow and Bone trilogy. I love that trilogy so much, and I am a huge fan of the Grisha verse in general. So I'm excited to get to this book and see how I feel, because I do want to even continue more books in this Grisha verse and more of Lee Bardugo's books. So hopefully that's a good one for me. I plan to read it very soon actually. So stay tuned. It might be one of my reading vlogs. But yeah, those are all the books on my December TBR. Like I said, I didn't want to do too much. I wanted to keep it quaint and short and easy enough for me to not feel overwhelmed by it, because I do mood read other books, including arcs. So yeah, stay tuned. See if I read any of these. Let me know if you've read any of these books, honestly, what your thoughts are about them. If you would like to read any of these books, just talk to me down below. I love reading and replying comments. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram if you want to be book besties or just besties in general. I would really love and appreciate that. But for now, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.